Everybody, and welcome to Homeopathic Voices from around the world, live, of course. It's 2:30 on Thursday, the 29th. Hey, it's a leap year, so it's February 29th. So I'm going to be joined by Dr. Priyanka Patole, who works with Dr. Shekhar Algundi from India. And a lot of questions to ask her about the amazing work that's being done at the Swara Homeopathic Clinic, but also about a workshop or almost a holistic retreat, actually, which is being organized and arranged by Dr. Shekhar and Dr. Priyanka. So I just thought it would be a really nice opportunity to get her on, because there's so much to talk about here, and it's amazing when I look at homeopathy in India, and it's the sheer number of people actually that use homeopathy in India, which is sort of really pushing things forward in leaps and bounds. But yeah, so just waiting for Dr. Priyanka to join, and also actually now that I'm on, I would like to say, oh, hello, Homeopath Forever, hello from Lebanon. Thank you so very much. The latest episode of my podcast, the Homeopathy Health Podcast, is out on all the major podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, and all of them pretty much, Podbean as well. And you can go to my website, Like Treats Like. You can stream it from there. Of course, you can go to ukhealthradio.com and you can stream it from there as well. And it's also on my YouTube channel, which is like_treats like. So just going to accept the request from join. It shouldn't be very long. And thank you for everybody for joining, of course. When I started Homeopathic Voices, I didn't know it would be so popular, but it seems to be really progressing in leaps and bounds. So, as I said, I am joined by Dr. Priyanka Patole from India. Thank you so much, Priyanka, for joining me.
Thank you so much, sir. It's my privilege.
Wonderful to see you.
Thank you.
So, I've been speaking to Dr. Shekhar Algundi, and I know that he is doing some amazing work, and he was taught by Dr. Rajan Sankaran, and who has been on my podcast, and he's actually coming up next month. He's going to be out for the second part of our series with Dr. Sankaran.
Okay.
And Priyanka, we were talking a great many things with Dr. Shekhar to do with the Swara Homeopathic Clinic, but also to do with the Gurukul. And, you know, it's fascinating. And I do want to ask you about that. But as a means of introduction to everybody around the world, do introduce yourself and, you know, your capacity and how you work.
Okay. So hello, everybody. Myself, Dr. Priyanka Patole. I am from India and I'm practicing homeopathy from past 13 years. Just after I completed my degree, I have joined Sir's clinic. Maybe not even completed the degree. During my internship only, I have joined Sir's clinic, and since then, I'm practicing along with Sir, because Sir's ideology is always baptism by fire, not with holy water. So he always throws his students, face it and see how it works for you. And that's how we have been cultured at Swara Homeo Clinic. And it's our privilege to have been, getting such kind of guru under whom we have groomed to become, as patients say that very early in your career, you are able to trace what exactly is happening to us. And, that is really a great compliment which you can get from your patients. So from past 13 years, along with seeing my OPD patients, I am also involved in national and international patients of Swara Homeo Clinic, taking their cases, maintaining their follow-ups. And along with that, parallelly, we are also into education. And we have this Swara Homeo Gurukul, which we have established 13 years back with just 3 students, myself and 2 other assistants, literally under a tree. in my village. So that was the starting of Gurukul. And today we have hundreds of students, participants who have got benefited by it. And we do it 4 times in a year, which is in the March, June, September, and December. It's a 7 days workshop. And
We
it's a,
are going to talk about that. But I
yeah,
was going to ask you,
yeah,
Priyanka, you know what? Something that was really fascinating for me talking to Dr. Shekhar yesterday was I love the idea of how Swara Homeo Clinic works, because you have cases in the morning, and then you have international calls afternoon, and then
yes,
in the evening you have inpatients or outpatients, sorry, face to face.
correct,
And I love that because it's nice, and Shekhar himself was saying to me that the doctors like yourself and everybody else, of course, you don't get bored as such. It doesn't become monotonous because you've got a
yes,
structure to it, and it's quite varied. So I found that fascinating. And how does time pass? It must pass so quickly, right?
correct. So
Mm,
basically, generally what happens in homeopathy, we hear people say that, uh, people are not talking in front of us, and that's how it gets boring, because you are not getting the details, the data on which you can work and see the
mm,
result, which actually give you the enthusiasm to work as a homeopath. In our clinic, I'm just repeating the same thing. In our clinic, as we have got this person, our sir, who have who have mastered the art of case taking, basically, and under him, when we are groomed over a period of time, doing the same kind of skill, day in and day out, it's kind of a continuous hammering in the same parallel direction, without any mm, there is no distraction as such,
mm,
because all the students, those who are coming to clinic, we have this clear thing in, when we communicate with them, that when you are coming for studying at Swara Homeo Clinic, it should be like a dedicated learning. You have come here with a mission, and in that mission, like how our earlier homeopaths, they have told, when you are practicing homeopathy, there should not be any other business. We literally follow that in our clinic. So when new cases are there in the morning, all our phone, like each and everybody, along with the sir and all the assistants, it is in the one corner of clinic. We do not have access to our own phone. So till the time patient's case history finishes, we are attending to all the queries of patients that they are having, because that's how it works. If you're not satisfying what is their need, it will not work,
mm.
because that's how, after traveling, after going to so many doctors, they have finally come down to you with some hope that, you are my last hope.
Mm.
And when such thing happens, it becomes your priority, it becomes your responsibility to give your patient your 100%. So that's how is the morning section. And then, of course, up till today, like after each case, we individually work out, putting our 100%, like whatever experiences we are having,
Mm.
right up from the new joinee, uh, up till the seasoned practitioner, including sir. Everybody will work on that case individually, and then we have this common platform where everybody will put up their, what they feel about that case. And that's how then the common discussion happens, and then the differential diagnosis happens, why this and why not that. And then we read the material from the source book, from the materia medica, from the repertory, and then finally we prescribe medicine to that patient. And because we have kept this culture of learning along with clinical practice, that's the reason why we do not get bored. Because it's like day in and day out, we are refreshing all our literature and seeing, literally seeing that whatever patient is telling, it is exactly written in the source
Mm.
book and in the provings.
I think
So
that's
that's
the best way to actually learn, and I love this idea about the fact that when you have cases, you discuss, and then you go
yeah,
through the repertory, and then you go through, the materia medica, because you'll come through, you'll come across arsenicum once, twice, three times, and then you'll never forget the
Correct.
characteristic.
Exactly.
I always find that amazing as well, and I think it's so good for students, those who are new graduates, let's say, because we're all students, okay, in homeopathy. We know that even, no matter how senior we are, we're still learning. So as students, for want of a better word, it's so good, isn't it, to be able to converse and to be able to discuss remedies, and I just think that's really, really important. And I love that work ethos, because I know that mobile phones have to be switched off as well. You don't have access to that. So you are truly focused on the patient. And I love that. I think that's exactly how it should be.
Yes, yes.
You know?
Only then you can be 100% present, and as it is written in our literature, and Dr. Shekhar always stresses upon these things, that for every homeopath, your senses are your, main thing in you, which actually will direct you to the right path. If that are distracted, if your senses are distracted, it is very difficult for you to actually see what is peculiar in that particular case.
There's a lot of truth to that, Dr. Priyanka, because if I get distracted personally, I find, it can be very challenging for cases. Whereas if I'm focused 100% and mobile phone is to the side and any other unnecessary computer screens are turned off, you can actually focus it to you can tune in so well to the patient that the vibrations, you can pick up the
Exactly.
vibrations, and then when the right
Exactly.
remedy is chosen, it's right. I don't know how to explain it, but that vibration of that remedy is perfect for that patient, um so yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. I think it's wonderful, and it is also, it's respect, isn't it, for the patient. Give
Yes, absolutely.
them the time, give them focus, give them your time, be there for them, because this is truly, I always say, I'm sure you've seen in my reels, that as homeopaths we need to hold out our hand so they can hold it. We need to give our shoulder so they can lean on it. And what
Yes,
I mean by that is you have to be focused for them to be able to express and share. And some patients have gone through terrible times, with health complaints, one after the other after the other. So yeah, it's so wonderful to know that this is happening there.
yes. And I would like to take this opportunity to convey this to all my, juniors, all those who have just passed out from the
Mm,
college and, wishing to start their clinic. I must tell to all of them that this particular skill, if you have, this particular quality, if you have, then age and experience has no bar. If you are keeping your focus very clear, if your intention is very clear, if your purpose is very clear, then, and you are putting your 100%, then you are as equal and as good as a seasoned homeopath, because you are keeping your senses alert, and that's what is the biggest asset for any homeopath.
mm.
Because the books and the information on the Google, on the sites, on the different like a repertory online things comes later, but first comes is to collect the data, and to collect that data on which the prescription, a homeopathic prescription can happen, will always happen through your special senses. So if you please develop this skill, and basically what we do at Gurukul sir is we actually uh, put our 100% effort in refining and sharpening the skills of every homeopath, those who come to learn at our Gurukul, because that's the biggest asset for any homeopath.
Priyanka, you're too busy. Do you get any time to yourself?
Yes, sir. That is one of the thing. But I think this is the age where you can put your 100%, and uh, I also feel equally responsible. I have already told this at multiple places that this is my personal thing. I feel responsible that if I have got this chair and this place and this shelter with sir in his clinic from past 13 years, it becomes my responsibility that what I have learned, I should take it out. I should send it out to all of them who has not the equal privilege to sit beside sir and see his mastery and try to absorb that. If I can absorb at least 50% of what he is doing, and if I can send it out, maybe somewhere somebody in some remote place would get inspired by that. And one more homeopath is, we are actually giving one more homeopath for the future generation. So that's how I keep myself motivated. Sometimes it happens that, what am I doing? All my friends are going to this party, this function, and you have so much to do in your hand, this workshop, this lecture, this webinar. Sometimes it happens, but your patient's feedback, your students' feedback, that keeps you, grounded, and that actually gives you all the enthusiasm to keep going.
That's very beautifully said and very eloquently said as well, because homeopathy, as far as I'm concerned, is a service to humanity.
Exactly.
And for that, you have to sacrifice so many things, But it's so true that it makes such a difference. I tell you that with the podcast that I'm doing, for example, I've found out that it is reaching very, very remote places in specific countries. And who knows whose life will change and they will become interested in homeopathy, and they'll say, well, they'll think that, oh, I want to do something like this. I want to help others. And you have changed not just that person, but how many lives will that person, when he graduates, when he's a homeopath, how many lives will he help? So it's ongoing, isn't it? It's almost ongoing charity, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you're serving humanity, and then because not every homeopath is charging. Many a time I'm not charging. I don't, because it just doesn't feel right. So you just say, you give the medicines, and you just hope and pray the patient responds. And I know this is like this everywhere.
Yes.
Around the
Absolutely.
world.
In our clinic also, sometimes there are patients who do not have even money to travel from their home to the clinic. I have seen sir giving them money that you please take this, but do follow up, and we will see to it that you will be better. Because, that's how you can balance between your practice and what we call your karma. Because ultimately it's what you get and what you are giving, and a peaceful sleep at night. All these things are actually for that.
It's so important. It's actually not peaceful sleep, Dr. Priyanka. It's peace of mind, isn't it?
Yes.
And your heart is clean, right? Because you did the best that you possibly could, And I love that, because it changes us as people as well. It makes us better. It improves us morally and ethically, We know how to be as such. When you help somebody, you have to be a certain person, and we gradually work towards that, right? To improve ourselves, Now, something very exciting, of course, is the Gurukul establishment. And I know that you have had a part to play in that, because Dr. Shekhar mentioned it to me yesterday. So firstly, congratulations. But secondly, I just find that fascinating, because that 7-day retreat, which is done, like you said, in March, June, September. See, look, I even remember the dates now. Hey, but it's done, isn't it? And it's so rewarding for the students. And do explain, because I just think it's such a wonderful idea, and it's really, really progressing, isn't it? Because I think you have, is it 80 or so students now, or what do you call it? Registers.
Registration. Registered.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Sorry, it's lunchtime in the UK. I'm sorry. I haven't had any lunch, so I'm forgetting my words. But yes, registrants. So do share, Priyanka, about Gurukul and how it's going.
Sure, sir. So basically, the idea of Gurukul, why we have started, because when you're actually having a busy clinic, 365 days, and then with that, when you're starting something which is equally engaging, it should have some deep purpose behind it. So when we decided to start this Gurukul, our basic purpose was to give hands-on training to all the homeopaths. Basically, those homeopaths who do not have the direct access at metropolitan cities, to have the access to the new information coming in homeopathy, or who do not have any direct access to the best homeopaths, best clinical homeopaths who are actually practicing homeopathy and some making some difference in patient's life and taking homeopathy to heights. So that's what that's what our main aim was. And when we requested sir, can we do this, he being passionate about teaching, he said, okay, let's go ahead and see how it works out. Then we started with like three homeopaths, then seven homeopaths, and now it's like, the number is outgrowing. So basically, what we do over there is we try to work on not only the theoretical part of homeopathy, but the main focus is practical part of homeopathy. We have sections like guided case taking, live case taking, and discussion on participants' cases. To give a little detail to it, in guided case taking, what we try to do is there are two parts in it. Sometimes we call local patients and participants, those who have enrolled for the workshop, they will take the cases of those local patients, and then we will guide them wherever they are making, not asking the appropriate questions, or not having understood what exactly patient is trying to tell, and asking something else, because that's what happened, and that's how you miss something peculiar in that case. So whenever such kind of thing happens, then myself, my other colleagues who are also trained under Dr. Shekhar sir and sir, guide them how to ask question. In that, the voice modulation, the pace of your asking, the body language, how to make the patient comfortable, because all these things have equal importance to make the person comfortable, so that he or she can come up with something very personal, and which is very, very important for a homeopathic prescription. Sometimes you get only the physical symptoms, and there are some remedies that are coming very close to each other, and then the dilemma comes which remedy to choose, this or that. And when you are skilled enough to take that conversation a little deeper and little personal, then patient comes up with something very, very peculiar. And those symptoms actually help you to segregate whether it is this remedy or that. So we actually impart these skillful techniques in Gurukul. In live case taking, sir personally takes cases and participants outside, they observe. We basically have this, relay. Whatever is happening inside the case taking process is simultaneously displayed outside in the form of video and simultaneous text translation. So, and after this cases happened, we replay those cases, and part by part, step by step, we show them how is the conversation has happened, where it actually led, and after guiding by sir, how it actually went ahead. So by this, what happens? All those mistakes that we do in our personal clinics, we actually see at Gurukul how to rectify it. We see it actually happening live in front of us. And when we go back, when our participants go back to their clinic, they actually come to us and they tell us that, it was so enlightening that I was doing this particular thing so many years in this particular direction. I did not thought that there was another way to it. And this workshop has actually opened so many possibilities that now I am able to tackle, I'm able to handle various kinds of personality. Those who speak too much, those who do not speak, whether it's a children case or whether it is a geriatric case. So we are actually imparting skill, and then we actually live up to them how to utilize this skill, how to use these tools as per their needs. So this is one part of it, like homeopathy. And then we also have, parallelly, we do holistic health also. Like we do yoga, meditation, walks in woods, then we have different kinds of exercises like painting exercise or sound exercise, by which we actually try to remove block in each person's life, because we are all humans and we are all carrying something deep within us which actually acts as a barrier for our development as a human being. And many a times it so happens that because of that barrier that which we are carrying from so long, in certain kind of cases we just cannot go ahead. When patient becomes emotional, we immediately connect to that, and then it becomes difficult to cross over that level of emotion and go ahead and actually understand what exactly it is. So when we do all these kind of healing practices over there, we actually take people, those who are actually homeopath, out of their what is restricting them or what is limiting them to come up as their whole potential. And we are getting excellent results by that, because there are so many female homeopaths, male homeopaths who come to us and tell us that I had knowledge. I had all this knowledge how to do that, but there was something within me which was restricting me. And when we went through these exercises, through meditation, to painting, through music, to healing, we actually understood what was that which was stopping us from all of this. And it was actually kind of revelation of themselves to them. And when that happened, they are like a free bird then, they are into their full potential to use all the techniques which they were not able to use for so many years. So it's a kind of personal touch that we keep with each and everybody, those who come for the workshop, because that's what is needed. Otherwise people are learning in the form of webinars, people are learning in the form of seminars, but there is always a kind of distance between the speaker and the participant. Here at Gurukul, the USP of Gurukul, if we can tell, is it's a kind of family unit that we build for the 7 days, and each participant is catered for their personal needs, where exactly is the need, and that need is catered in the form of the solving of their personal queries, giving them right advices, sometimes not homeopathically. We have also seen that people coming to us, generally we think that when people are enrolling for a homeopathic workshop, they actually come for homeopathy. But frankly telling to you, sir, there are few homeopaths who actually are, there are some things that are happening in their life, and there is no answer to that. And these workshops, these retreats where you spend 7 days along with your guru, from morning 6 o'clock till night 9:30, it's a kind of getting answers to so many unsolved questions because of
I think it's wonderful. I think it's
yes,
such a nice way to get homeopaths out, and also the fact that sometimes homeopaths can feel later on in life quite embarrassed about asking about cases and asking which remedy to fellow homeopaths, because they always think that someone will judge them, that, oh, you've been practicing for so many years and why are you asking? But it's nice to start this at the beginning of the journey, because it opens you up. I love it. I think it's going to go places, it really is something special.
it's very
Mm.
important.
So now tell me, what else are you working on? When are you writing a book?
Okay, so as we are telling about the book, this was the book that we recently worked upon, Case
Yeah.
Taking, the Art of Connection, Communication, and Conversation. Amazing work and amazing book. It's a distillation of Sir's 35 years of clinical experience, and amazing thing. And the next coming up, we are actually have started working on tenses in homeopathy, grammar in homeopathy, because many a times it happens our patients are telling us something in a particular tense, that they are worried about what will happen in the future, and that's
Mm.
what anxiety their problem is. but we being not aware what is their exactly their issue is, we are asking them questions in the present tense, and then it's like a clash. You and that person is not at all a match, and so that's how conversation doesn't go well, and that's how that communication is missed. So the next upcoming is grammar in homeopathy, because it is really a need of the hour, especially in this era of 21st century, where the phrases are getting shorter and shorter and shorter.
Conversations
Actually,
are getting shorter too.
the essence of the conversation is lacking.
Yeah.
So we are next coming up, we are working on that.
There's a question from Vivi Mazoko. I hope I've answered it right. I hope I've said your name right. What's the name of the book? So could you hold the book up again? So it's
yes,
called
the
Case Taking,
yeah.
The Art of Connection, Communication, and Conversation.
Yes.
And I think
those who want to have this book, I'll be sharing the
number.
Yes.
Could
7500.
you share that for everybody?
Yes, I have sent it. So we are shipping this book worldwide. So if anybody want it, please do contact us on this particular number.
That's
and we will.
For those outside of India. I think we need to add a +91. So the country code for India will be +91. I always add these numbers on WhatsApp because it just shows up, and then you know you've got the right number immediately. So that's the cell number, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that should show up quite nicely. No problem, Vivi. Thank you for joining as well. And please subscribe to my podcast.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. So, Dr. Priyanka, it's been an absolute joy to have you on, and we're going to talk very soon anyway, because you're coming on the other show as well. So I look forward to that, and we can talk in some good detail as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. And first of all, thank you so much for calling me in, because many of them have told that this is needed, that someone who has just started the journey, and if someone of like that caliber is coming to such an incredible show, it's like it's a new horizon, new opening up for homeopaths, of a younger generation like us. So thank you so much for us, from behalf of all the young homeopaths. Thank you for calling me, sir.
No, it's a great honor to have you on. Honestly, I'm delighted. And we will be in touch, of course. Absolutely, we will. And I will speak to you very, very soon, Dr. Priyanka Patole. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And before we log out, I request all of you to please go and subscribe to sir's Instagram channel. It's Like Treats Like, and also his podcast. Amazing podcast he is having. Almost 49,000 viewers are there, listeners are there, and you can also become a part of that. Thank you so much.
Very kind of you. Take care, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Good day.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.